Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James13 Wicca. I just want to make sure that's where you're seeing it. If you're not, I'm on YouTube, James13 Wicca. I'm going to put the decks and dice and stuff like that below. If you want a personal reading in person, I am in Herkimer, New York, or close to it, I should say, doing personal readings in Herkimer, New York. There's a store called Renewed and Rescued if you want to check it out. The hours they're open or the hours I can do that, just shoot me an email and I'll let you know if there's time available. Also, if you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? Something's happening. What is happening? I keep feeling you have control. Even if people don't want you to know that, you do have control. What is that? What are we talking about? I don't know why I'm so drawn to this, but it's gone, isn't it? Somebody else might be having an issue. There's stress around this situation with the Nine of Swords. So there's something about somebody else causing issue or having issues or something. I don't know. We have to get a little deeper into this before we really know what that is. Somebody else in their stress. Might be manipulative. Be careful of it. Be careful of it. Even though Scorpio is very strong, I feel like that's obvious. Like all of us, every now and then we can be manipulated, and we don't like it. We don't like that reality, but somebody might be playing some type of game with you. Be aware of, like, try to keep an eye out for it, I feel. Like, because I feel like it's somebody who is very covert and very, they play it like they're weaker. They're not really. Six of Pentacles. I feel like this is talking about how you got into this situation. And what they're showing me is somebody from my past. I didn't know them all that well, but they were very helpful. I knew they were a Scorpio. I don't know why I knew that, but I did. I remember them getting pulled into certain projects. And I just remember her saying to me once, like, she goes, I didn't really want to. They just seemed to, they asked me to, and they seemed to need me, and I just did. I feel like, I remember that. Like, I remember her saying that. Like, it's not like I really wanted to. They just asked me to, and they needed me, so I just did. The energy here, how you got involved in it, you did what you had to do. And I feel like most of us, you know, people appreciating and acknowledging and appreciating needing us. I'm not a Scorpio, I'm a Pisces, but still. Being appreciated and being needed, that has its allure. It does, to a point. You know, depending on who it is, of course, too. That also makes a big deal of difference. Whatever, I feel like this is how I got into this, though. And I feel like there's been a progression of aggression. Progression of aggression? Can we get, like, can you give me a little bit more on that? Somebody's a liar. I keep feeling like somebody's not right. I don't know. I keep getting this stress, this manipulator, somebody who seems weak that's not really weak. Somebody's a liar. It's bothering me. I don't want to, like, taint the whole reading with that, but I keep feeling it over to the side. Like, somebody's, like, they come off as if they're weak, but they know what they're doing. They definitely do. Because I feel like I'm getting used to the progression of aggression. Things get a little worse, and I feel like things are getting more and more hectic. Doesn't have to mean they're combative, but hectic for sure. It's the Five of Wands. which to me is a combative card. There's a lot of different things going on here. You got the diversity they wrote down there, which is fine, but I'm getting there's a lot of different things going on. The thing is, some people, that's how they get what they want. They take a situation, they make it as confusing as they can, and then they just kind of put things out there for people to do without people realizing what's actually going on. Meanwhile, the person who's pulling the strings is over there sipping a martini on their little deck chair. You know what I mean? I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, because I feel like you're very active in this situation. And just because you can do a lot of it yourself doesn't mean you should be. Let's be fair. Yeah, you're succeeding, but like, what's going on? Because the energy is coming down. Somebody is like taking a seat while you do most of the work. And we need to take this person, like they need to kind of up their energy and they need to kind of pull their weight a little bit more. But I keep getting this like, oh, I can't. Oh, thank God you were here, Scorpio. It would have just failed if you weren't here. Somebody's manipulating it. It's starting to aggravate me. This is face down. Oh, the Fool card. The Fool card in question, which is like this, which means, are we going to keep going the way we've been going? Or are we going to be like, no, I see what you're doing. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to rewrite this story. It's not just about seeing it for yourself. It's about a moment coming up. Because I feel like for some of you are going to be like, I think I know who this is, but I'm not totally sure. Some of you might be like, well, I can think of 3 or 4 people this could be. Some of you might have that, like, I can think of 3 or 4 people this could be. The moment is coming forward because somebody's going to get themselves in a snafu to where, if this is a work thing, for example, it's almost like they don't know you have a week's vacation coming up next, and they get all these things lined up that they need to get done, and they're like, I know Scorpio's going to help me with most of this anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Meanwhile, you go on vacation, and then you're not there the whole week, and they're like, uh-oh, now I have to do it. They're creating some type of mess for themselves. And like they're going to be really missing you at this moment. This is one of those things where I feel like even though you're not there, other people are noticing how much you actually do, because this person is going crazy trying to keep up with the things that they decided they needed to do. And since you're not there, they have to do it. So other people are noticing that you're not there and are like, yeah, usually it's Scorpio who does it. I feel, even though I don't think you're physically there, this is interesting how this is coming through to me. I think it's interesting anyway, because people are like, yep, that's because Scorpio usually takes care of the heavy lifting. Scorpio usually does it. That's why. And now this person who has to do their own job has to do it now because Scorpio's not there this week. And I feel like this is creating something for you. This is creating a moment that you get to have control over. Not right when it's happening, because I feel like you're disconnected or not near it, or you can't physically do it. It's just how it's going on. But it's creating an opportunity for you later, and people are noticing. They're like, yeah, because Scorpio usually takes care of that. And this time Scorpio didn't pick up the pieces. I feel like people like this. Kind of like that other person got their just desserts. Scorpio, you know they're going to do what they need to do. This person, what are they doing? That's where they feel like this stress really comes in for them. Because, first of all, they have to pick up their own mess. Secondly, I feel like people are starting to say stuff to them. Like, oh, we didn't think you could do that. You always play poor me, and now you just pulled it out. What's going on with that? I feel like they're trying to block this in the sense of like they don't want you to know how this really played out. I feel a lot of diplomacy, but in a negative way. I don't like it. I feel like they're trying to just kind of wash it away, act like it wasn't like that. Oh, people are making it out to be a bigger deal than it was. I had people helping me. I had this going on. Oh, I didn't really get it all done correctly. And I feel like whoever this is, people are trying to tell you what's going on here. And the person who actually pulled the games is like, actually, I messed a bit of it up and I didn't get it all done and I had people helping me. Even though none of that's true, I feel like they're trying to play it like, oh, yeah, it was a rough week, but hopefully nobody's too mad at me. But it's not how it really played out. You have a choice here. You can just kind of quietly go back into what it was and kind of like, I guess it doesn't matter. which I don't, it's up to you if you feel that's right. Or there's another option here. Find out what really happened. There's somebody here who, it feels like your opposite energy. There's somebody here who just likes to, it's a rules person. I keep getting it with teacher, which is the Hierophant a lot of times. And then what is this other one? The Wheel of Fortune. I don't know that I don't feel like you're at odds with this person, but this might be one person, somebody who's like very much about you do it this way every time. And it may be they may be a very stuffy person in your opinion, maybe, take it with a grain of salt. Or it just may be somebody that like the way they do things and the way you do things are very different. So you just let them do their own thing and you go do your thing. And then you just come back and touch base when you need to. It's kind of like reminds me of working with certain people where, all right, at the beginning of the day, we both have our lists. This is what each of us have to do. We'll talk at the end of the day, and we trust each other to get each list done. But they're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right in order. You're going to jump around back and forth here and there. You might start one, finish one later, but by the end of the day, you'll have your whole list done, and it'll be correct. But you didn't do it 1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't do it that way. And the reason you maybe separate for the day is because as long as we do things on our own, nobody gets upset. If we do things together, they get really bent out of shape if you don't do it in order. You get really bent out of shape if people don't let you do it your way, just so you can get things done the way you need to get things done. So it may be somebody that you're kind of at odds at, but not. It may be one of those things. Anyway, this energy is the one that if you approach that energy, they'll tell you, and they'll show you why they're right. This isn't only an energy that'll be like, this is how you do it the right way. This is what actually happened. This is what they did. This is why they could have done that. This is what they should have done. They'll give you the whole story. They'll be quite the detailed story. There will be details here. And they'll have their own feelings about that. And I feel like I have to sit there and go, okay. And I just have to let them tell me how they felt about it. This energy, which I don't think is negative, I just feel like it's very different from you. Will set you free from this situation. Because I also feel like not only will it give you the details and the proof, it'll also kind of like probably aggravate you just enough to where you're like, I'm not going back to that because now I feel uncomfortable that was even happening. And I just feel like somebody is making me look like the fool and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I have no interest in it. I am shutting the fool card down. I am turning it upside down. I'm not allowing it anymore. I don't think it's going to be that bad if you see it, ironically. When I say I don't think, you got a couple cards here. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to directly deal. I don't feel like I'm going to get right in this person's face and be like, I heard this and I see that proof and I know you did this. And I don't feel like I'm even bothering with that. I don't even feel like I have any interest in it. But I do feel, and I feel like I'm moving on from it. I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to let them do what they need to do, and I'm just going to stay away from them. I'm just going to not let myself be available for them. I'm going to get myself involved in other things, and they just have to do what they have to do. That's just what it is. And I feel like the reason the Three of Swords is here is because I just feel, it feels like a level of betrayal. Like somebody used me, and I don't have very positive energy towards that, and I don't like it. I'm not calling it out, especially if this is a work situation. I feel like this has happened a lot to me in work where you know what somebody did, especially if you're me. If you're somebody like me anyway, to where you've had the inklings that something was wrong, and then you're like, no, I don't, no. And then you're like, you know what, just to calm this energy down, I'm going to just research this and see if that's actually true. And you find out it was actually true. So it might be one of those energies like, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't think it was that bad. And then afterwards, you're kind of like, you kind of might have that energy like, I kind of knew something wasn't right. I knew something was off. I just didn't want to look. I just didn't want to get that deep into it. And maybe I should have. So it's kind of like, I feel like I wanted better from this person or energy than I got. And I'm like, you know, I kind of knew something was weird here. I feel like I'm moving on. I do feel like you're moving on from it. And I do feel like your energy is good. You're seeming to put yourself in the place of success. That energy is taking control like it needs to of its own life because you're not picking up the pieces anymore. This then opens the door for you to go better places. Success has been waiting for you is what I keep getting with this. What is this? The Queen of Fire? success has been waiting for you, but I feel like they're saying, ironically, you being a good person to somebody else or helping somebody else has literally been blocking your own success. It probably felt like it was the right thing to do at the time, but I'm getting overall, when I release that energy, when I move on from it, your success that's been waiting for you now moves forward, and then you can be at peace with your success. This wisdom you're taking into this next situation, it's not going to be for nothing. Whatever you went through, however long it was for, this is something where like I'm taking that little nugget of information and I'm making sure that I hold on to that and I apply that where necessary so we don't repeat this again. But again, your success has been waiting. Once this is out of the way, it'll move forward so you can then go into a progressive, positive, prosperous energy for your own needs. I think the energy's kind of going. I think we're there. Is that why? Okay. I'm going to let this go here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.